Hey peeps, my name's Sydney,
I'm Hollis.
and welcome to week five of our virtual cooking class. Today we're making some peach cobbler with a delicious oaty crumble on top.
All right, so our ingredients today are 5 to 6 medium peaches, or we use canned peaches and we just rinse off the syrup. So 2 cans of peaches and diced. So we already went ahead and we cut them up. I don't know if you can see, but yeah.
Got nice little bite-sized pieces.
Yep, about that big. 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. Almond extract. You can also use vanilla extract if you prefer. Ground cinnamon, old-fashioned oats, or whatever kind of oats that you got is fine. And then we're using whole wheat flour. And then for a sweetener today, instead of using sugar, we're actually going to be using maple syrup and 2 tablespoons of butter. So we went ahead and melted it, but we used one of these sticks with this handy dandy measuring on it for 2 tablespoons. So that's our ingredients for today.
And then to make the dreams happen, the magic come true, you're gonna need 2 bowls.
Yep.
One for the
one for the peaches,
and then one for the crumbly topping, and then you're gonna need a handy dandy square baking container that you can grease, and so then all of your good stuff doesn't stick to the inside. And then whatever you want to use to measure.
So we've got a measuring cup, a quarter cup measuring, and some measuring spoon. So yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and preheat the oven so that it's ready. 350 degrees.
Okay.
And we're also going to grease the baking pan with butter. So an easy way to grease with butter is I just take the stick itself and I just kind of just rub it on there.
So convenient.
Yeah. So get your pan greased up.
And it's nice and so when it goes in the oven too, it kind of like melts out and hits all the little baby spots you maybe missed. So it works well.
The sides a little bit, and then good to go. All right. So now the pan is greased. The first thing we want to do is combine the diced peaches, the cornstarch, the almond extract, and the cinnamon. So I'm going to start measuring those out. Do you want to do the flour?
Yeah.
I'll do the cornstarch.
Okay, so it looks like you'll need 2 tablespoons of cornstarch.
Awesome. I've got my tablespoon.
So then while Hollis is going to add that to the peach stuff, I'm going to add my flour to the topping bowl.
Oh, did I read that wrong? Right. Cool.
Sorry.
So we're going to tag team this. We're going to do some good teamwork to make the dream work. So I'm going to work on the peaches part, and Sid's going to work on the toppings. I'm adding my cornstarch. 1 tablespoon. 2 tablespoons, nice and even.
We're going to do the same thing with the whole wheat flour right here. 1 cup. And then
All right.
I always think of that Bob Marley song whenever I like am sitting down to stir some stuff up, and I'm just like stir it up every time.
I was like, what is he talking about?
Yeah, like maybe he was whipping up his own peach cobbler at home, you know?
Maybe.
I think he had like 5 kids or something, didn't he?
I don't know. Did he?
I think so. Since one of his sons, Ziggy, does really fun boppy kid music that I like to jam to. It puts me in a good mood.
We should start having theme music during our cooking class.
I would be game. If anyone has suggestions, let us know. I would be into it.
Okay. All right. So I've added the cornstarch to the peaches, and now I'm going to add the almond extract.
Do 1/2 teaspoons.
1.5 teaspoons. I'm gonna measure. When I do liquids, I always do them over the bowl because I'm messy. And that way it just drips right in. So there's
Good
1
idea.
teaspoon. I'm gonna use my 1/2 teaspoon. There we go. Mix that in. What did you add?
I did a 1/4 cup of whole wheat flour and then 3/4 cups of old-fashioned oats. And then once I think we're done with the peach mixture, then I'm going to add the liquidy butter and the maple syrup into this. And then we'll put them in the pan and we'll be good to go.
Cool. All right. So the next thing I'm gonna add to the peaches is a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon. I love cinnamon.
Have you ever watched videos of people harvesting cinnamon?
No.
It's super cool. It's like a tree, so then they.
The cinnamon is a bark, right? Okay.
So it's kind of like when people think about like how beavers will like bite trees and kind of just go around the outside and not like go the inner part. That's kind of like when people like harvest cinnamon. It's kind of like the same thing, but it's like pretty and striped instead of being like chew marks. But
What kind of tool do they use? You
it's
know?
like big knife type things, but the people who do it are like such professionals that it's like super speedy and like it looks pretty cool. Yeah.
Okay. I think that's everything for the peach mixture.
Sweet. Good
So,
job, Hollis.
so do I dump it in?
Yeah, if you want to, since I think it goes in the bottom of the pan and then that would still go on top anyway.
Cool. So once the peach mixture is done and your pan is greased, you can go ahead and add it. Oh, can't really see. Okay. I'll show you after.
How do you like to kind of make sure it doesn't just stay clumped in the middle?
Oh yeah. So I poured it into our pan, and I'm just gonna take my spatula and I'm just gonna like do this little spready motion, get it all in the corners.
It looks so fancy.
So that it's nice and even.
Kind of like when you're painting something.
Yeah. It's kind of fun.
Looks good.
All right.
Okay.
Time to shine, Sid.
Thank you, Hollis. I appreciate the support. Okay, so in my small boy bowl, I have 1/4 cup of flour and 3/4 cups of oats. And so then we're gonna add 2 tablespoons of butter. This is maple syrup. Maple syrup. 2 tablespoons of maple syrup into our butter mixture. Thank you.
So yeah, this is already 2 tablespoons of melted butter. So I guess it's equal parts maple syrup to butter.
You are absolutely right.
Good, let me see.
I think this recipe is kind of cool since it like uses maple syrup instead of using so much sugar. Sugar isn't bad or anything, but like trying to use kind of like natural sugars is kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. Like fruit. Fruit's a good source of natural sugars.
But do you like any other kinds of natural sugar besides fruit or maple syrup?
Yeah, I actually have this. I use a lot of honey instead of sugar and stuff. So like instead of putting sugar in my tea or coffee, I'll put a little bit of honey.
Ooh,
And I like to buy local honey too, but this one comes in a big bottle, so it's kind of worth the investment. It lasts me like 6 months.
That's awesome.
So yeah.
Moment of truth, I'm gonna add the maple syrup and butter to the oats. Drizzle it on top.
Need my spatula.
Ooh, that'd be lovely. Thank you. Appreciate the good share.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm just kind of mix it up until it looks like it's kind of coated in the flour and the butter sugar mix. Or butter flour.
Butter, flour, butter, flour, maple syrup, and oats. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
That's the beauty of cooking with a buddy is you might forget what you're saying, but they'll help you remember.
Did you add cinnamon to that too?
Oh, I did not. I bet I did.
I think
you're right. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But
So
So
okay. I have to do some math here.
Okay.
So the recipe calls for a whole teaspoon of ground cinnamon.
Mm-hmm.
And in the peach mixture, it asks you to add 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're supposed to add the rest of the cinnamon to the oat mixture. So if we're going to do 1 teaspoon minus 1/4 teaspoon, how many teaspoons are you adding, Sid?
So I always learned that it makes it easier if you find a common denominator, which is like a fancy way of making sure that like the bottoms are the same. So then
the fraction
of the thanks, Alice. Of the fraction. So you're gonna have 4/4 teaspoon minus 1/4 teaspoon, which means 4 minus 1 is 3.
Yeah. Lot of good applications.
Keeping our brains big and wrinkly on this Wednesday afternoon. I'm gonna do 1, 2, and 3. You're good remembering, Alice.
That's everything.
Gonna mix it up again.
Smells good. Almond extract is interesting because it always smells like cherries to me.
Me too, and I don't ever quite taste it in cookies sometimes at Christmas, and I'll always think of cherries, and it's not a cherry.
I don't know why that is, but it's interesting.
Yeah, kind of crazy cool. But, so if you're getting dreaming of barbecues this summer, and you and your immediate roommates are all hanging out at home, this is a good option to bring, since it's fruit and oats and not as much sugar as a normal dessert.
So good with ice cream, but it's also good as a breakfast. Because it's basically like oatmeal and fruit.
That sounds tasty.
And since this one doesn't have like a ton of white sugar in it, you won't have a sugar crash, hopefully.
Ooh, good idea, Hollis. Now it's time to sprinkle on top, but keep it a secret. Don't tell her. But tomorrow's our roommate's birthday, so we're gonna have some of this for breakfast. That's a fun surprise.
So Sydney's just putting the crumble mixture evenly over the peaches, which is a skill.
Thank you. It's like when you watch professional golfers, how they take a deep breath and squat down and look at the hole, except for this is crumble on top of the cobbler.
You're doing great.
Oh, okay. Sometimes you'll get to the end and you'll realize that you used too much at the beginning and not enough in the corner. So this is another good application of the smoothing process that Hollis talked about earlier. So we're just gonna swoop a little to the left, swoop a little to the right, take 2 steps back, 1 step forward, electric slide. Covered and nobody crumbles, so we can eat you for dessert. Okay, good. Sweet.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, I think it's ready to go in the oven. Yeah.
Sweet.
Got our peach mixture and we've got our nice crumble. So we're gonna toss it in there.
Sure. Thank you.
Start a timer for 35 minutes to check on it. It's 35 to 45 minutes, so however crispy and well done you like it.
6:22.
Yep.
Sweet.
All right. And Sid went ahead and made one earlier today, so we could show the final product. Pull what's the cook that does it?
Martha Stewart.
Oh, pull a Martha Stewart on y'all. And there we go. Magic.
It smells really yummy, but the recipe said to let it cool for 2 hours, so then the juices kind of thicken up.
Yeah,
I would recommend.
Yeah.
Kind of tilting it sideways and it's not falling out. So.
And I think the ingredient to thank for that is the cornstarch. The cornstarch is the one that it uses as a thickener. You can use it as a thickener in soups and stuff if you were trying to make a stew and you get it too runny. So
that's good to know.
The cornstarch is what helped to make it set, and not all just juicy runny. So
If you don't have cornstarch, can you use something else to thicken it? Like,
I think you can use flour too,
ooh,
but cornstarch like congeals the most. So cornstarch is the one that like gels up like a like Jello almost. But but you can also use flour.
so cool.
So,
kitchen science knowledge.
Yeah.
But thanks for passing it on, Hollis.
Yeah. All right.
Sweet. Well, thanks for joining us
Yeah.
today. Before we forget, next week we decided today, get pumped. It's going to be a great episode. We're going to be making some pulled barbecue style, maybe pulled chicken and coleslaw with a healthy dressing.
It's tasty.
It's going to be so good. I'm already excited. So thanks for joining us. Thanks for the good teamwork, Hollis. And we'll see you next time.
See you next week.
Have a good week.